City was built for nights like this here at the Big East basketball tournament. 4 originals, 4 winners in 2 semifinal matchups. We begin with Rick Pitino's top-seeded St. John's side, led by Big East defensive and player of the year Zuby Ejiofor, taking on the regional rivals Seton Hall. Open up the courts and let's ball.
In New York City, a hooper's journey begins with a dream. A dream that stretches from the playground to the bright lights of MSG. Here, legends of the blacktop learn to rise above the rim and grind to meet the moment. Tonight, 4 teams remain, one step closer to cutting down the nets.
Send it in the garden.
From playground dreams to the garden stage, the entire city will be watching. The Big East Tournament semifinals start right now.
44th consecutive year that the greatest college basketball conference tournament takes place inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Seton Hall, St. John's to start us off. Rob Stone, Casey Jacobson, Donnie Marshall, and welcome to OG Friday night here at the Big East basketball tournament. 4 of the conference's originals in semifinal action. Later tonight over on FS1, UConn, Georgetown, both with 8 tournament titles on their resume. But we begin here on Fox with the metro area battle between St. John's and Seton Hall. The Johnnies, the 1 seed, your defending champs. Seton Hall, part of that first 4 out group. They are desperate for a huge win tonight to get them to the NCAA tournament. Both of these programs, though, have something in common, Donnie.
They do. I think 2 of the best teams at executing their offense. We have this conversation a lot about how hard it is to speed a team up. And if you're St. John's, you are thinking about that. Seton Hall is not a team that you can speed up. They do a nice job getting into their rhythm, playing at their pace. I will say, though, they can't focus on trying to send 2 and 3 guys at Zuby Ejiofor. I think anyone not named Zuby cannot have a career night, and I think Seton Hall will be okay with that.
Yeah, Seton Hall defensively, you mentioned it, Donnie. They may not be able to shut down Zuby Ejiofor, but at least their goal needs to be to slow him down. These 2 teams played just 7 days ago, and Donnie, Zuby had 21 points, but more importantly, 11 of those points came in transition. And Seton Hall, they want to make this a half-court game, a grind-out game. St. John's offensively, 53% shooting in transition and just 43% in the half-court. So if Shaheen's team can do their job to kind of grind it possession by possession, this St. John's team is more manageable.
And those are the technical things about this game, the numbers, the analytics, the emotional part of it. Remember, Shaheen Holloway, he's from New York, guys. Seton Hall hasn't been in this game since 2021. This is an emotional game for everyone involved for so many reasons. I hope they've reinforced that group because this is the game in this area, this part of the world that everyone has wanted to see on this stage.
A lot of people came to see that man in number 24, Zuby Ejiofor. St. John's, their defense just suffocated Providence from the outset yesterday. Will we see it again? For the call, Jim Jackson and Gus Johnson.
All right, we are ready for the semifinals here at the Big East Tournament with 4 original teams competing for the championship. Gus Johnson along with the All-American Jim Jackson. And welcome to the world's most famous arena. We've got a couple of good ones for you tonight. First off, it's St. John's and Seton Hall. Seton Hall needs a win to get in the NCAA tournament. Everybody says they're on the bubble. St. John's looking for back-to-back regular season titles and back-to-back conference tournament titles. Man, they played 2 tough games during the regular season. This should be one to watch.
It should be, and the reason why Seton Hall is so confident about that they can get a victory victory this evening is because they rebound the ball as well, pressure defense. They love to get out and run. The differentiator, I think, is going to be three-point shooting. Can Seton Hall make enough beyond the arc to make this a game that they can walk away with a W?
Seton Hall, a 31% three-point shooting team on the year. As we take a look at the starting lineup, sponsored by Jeep, there's only one for the Pirates and the Red Storm. Who jumps out at you?
Well, it's Bud Hart. He's the igniter, the engine for the Seton Hall team. He's going to put pressure on the defense, see if he can get some easy baskets. The key is handling the basketball, not turning it over. And Dylan Darling, he stabilized this St. John's offense to a T, running the best way he can. And right now, doing a lot for this team, scoring the basketball as well.
And our player to watch, sponsored by Geico. It feels good to Geico. How about Zuby Ejiofor? Historic season for this young man. He becomes only the second player in Big East history, along with Connecticut's Emeka Okafor, to win Conference Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Scholar Athlete of the Year with a 3.7 grade point average in sports management. And for more on these teams and this game, let's go to the third member of our team on the sideline, Miss Allison Williams.
Hey there, Gus. What a turnaround for this Seton Hall team to go from winning just 7 games last year to playing on Friday night in the Big East tournament with a trip to the NCAA tournament very much at play. But head coach Shaheen Holloway wants his guys to forget about that tournament because he says tonight, this is why you come to Seton Hall, to play on this stage. Because if you can compete in the Big East, you can compete anywhere. And the Pirates very much competed with the Johnnies in their 2 regular season matchups, losing just by a combined 12 points. And they believe that tonight is going to be all about toughness, physicality, which team can work harder, fight, box out for rebounds, win in the paint, and win the grit of this game.
All right, Allison, Rick Pitino's Red Storm swept Seton Hall this year, but both games were competitive. The Storm rallied from 15 down to win 65-60 here at the Garden, and then prevailing 72-65 last Friday at the Rock. And as always, Rick Pitino, Sugar Shard on the sideline.
Well, he has no choice. That's just who he's been, who he's always going to be.
St. John's. I'm sorry, St. John's, Seton Hall. Time